pull for you." Eden ignored him and hoped her uncle hadn't heard. Aunt Anne had. To Eden's shock, she murmured just loud enough to carry over the creak of the wheels. "Why don't you swap with the young man, dear? He's only trying to be kind." "Then you swap with him," Eden returned. She wasn't sure exactly what she thought the man might do, jump up behind her and carry her off, or send the horse plunging off to some hideaway, but she detested his pity and distrusted his offer. If he was so kindly, there were scores among the almost 500 emigrants who were in much worse shape than she. To her astonished outrage, the rider slid down and came to walk beside her, speaking for her ears alone. "You don't belong with this crowd of saints, pretty girl, and you won't belong in their city, or sealed for time and eternity to one of them. My stepmother runs a school near here, and she could use some help. Why don't you stop off with us?" A school in this wilderness? He must really think she was easily duped. Up ahead was Register Cliff, where they'd surely stop that night and stay over Sunday, but there was no sign of habitation in all the miles stretching away toward Laramie Peak, rising high to the southwest. No doubt this impudent man was making up his stepmother, too. Even had all he said been true, Eden certainly couldn't abandon her aunt and die. She gave the stranger what was calculated to be a withering stare. "That's such a preposterous suggestion, sir, that I marvel you dare to make it." "Do you?" Carefree laughter lilted in her ears. "Then what do you think of this one? Will you put aside your burden and marry me?" "Marry you?" She gasped at the effrontery. "Sir, I can only suppose you've been drinking." "Now, how is that to think of yourself?" he bantered. "That a man must be drunk to propose to you?" Useless to argue. He'd only twist her words and laugh in that caressing, indulgent way that quickened her blood, taking away some of her bone weariness, even though she knew he was only amusing himself. "Young man," shouted Uncle Harry from behind the cart, "I'll thank you to leave my niece alone, so she'll have her mind on her pullin'. Slackin' she is, and my back is breaking." "From what I can see, mister, your women are doing the main work," tossed back the stranger. He smiled down at Eden. "Think about my offers. Both of them. I'll visit your camp tonight and tomorrow, and for as long as it takes for you to change your mind." Before she could say anything to this amazing promise, he had drawn the big gelding aside and stepped lightly into the saddle. To Eden's relief, and quickly suppressed disappointment, he rode over a slope and out of her view. He'd just been teasing then, playing a rough frontier joke. But he had been striking, with his lean face and high cheekbones, those strange green eyes. He had just a hint of accent which made his deep, pleasant voice utterly charming, and he was absolutely like no man she'd ever met before, either in the United States or in Wales. "What a handsome young man!" Aunt Anne sighed rather wistfully, swatting away buffalo gnats. "It wouldn't have hurt to ride his horse a while, Eden." "I dare say he planned more than that," returned Eden darkly. "I think he's a great liar. He said his stepmother had a school around here. Can you imagine that?" "Well, dear, perhaps." "Where would she get her pupils?" Eden demanded. "No, Aunt Anne, he was certainly up to no good." They pulled in silence, straining at each slight rise. "Do you think he was Indian?" Aunt Anne asked after a bit. Partly, I suppose. Probably his father was a white trapper, or trader." As they labored on, Eden sternly fixed her mind on tomorrow's chores. She'd help her aunt bake and wash, not only for the Richardses, but for the Collinses, who made up their camping 10. Mrs. Collins would be having a baby soon. It was all she could do to trudge beside the cart propelled by her husband and his brother, Elijah, a husky, red-bearded young man whose brown eyes frequently stayed on Eden so long that she felt